This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today, good afternoon, is being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne right here down the road. Del Range and Ridge, Pershing and Ridge, south side on the South Greeley Highway, downtown. KRAE Avenue on the north side on Yellowstone Road. Again, Taco John's of Cheyenne. Stop on by and get the perfecto taco today. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. 20s are arriving. And again, after the snowstorm, it's time now to kick a few tires because old Betsy just couldn't get it going during that snowstorm. So see my good friend AJ and the crew over there at Key of Cheyenne. They got some 2020s for you, including the all-new Telluride. You're going to like that SUV from Kia. Pine Valley Bank, 2 banking locations for you. On the corner of College and Pershing for you Eastsiders, and the original location on Vandehigh, offering all banking services that you've come to expect and even more with today's technology. Platte Valley Bank here in Cheyenne. Chick-fil-A Windmill and Del Range, where they're serving up delicious chicken. After turkey, you got to have the chicken sandwiches, the waffle fries, and, a nice little helping of mac and cheese crusted to perfection on the top. Ray and Cindy invite you to come to their place right across from Powers Field and Menards. 2 convenient drive-thrus or drop by inside. 6 days a week, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Chick-fil-A in Cheyenne. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. See Gene Barber and the great staff over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Open Monday through Saturday. Come on in or use the convenient drive-thru. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue, where they service what they sell. Hey, is a Maytag, a Whirlpool, a GE, Frigidaire, is that in the offing for this Christmas? Well, see my good friend Bruce. Maybe you have one at the house that you need fixed. They service what they sell as well, too. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue in Cheyenne. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean. Both are part of Lennox Enterprises, serving our area needs for over a quarter century. First Year Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Tim and the great staff invite you to come on by. Matter of fact, talk to them about their special CD rates going on right now. First Year Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. And across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, it's Mondello's Pizzeria. Joe and the crew invite you to come on by. Paisan cuisine at its best for almost 5 decades. Joe has been bringing us delicious Paisan cuisine, East Coast style. And again, his pizza ranked in the top 10 by the Food Network folks. That tells you how delicious that eats are over at Mondello's Pizzeria. Open 7 days a week, Sundays, noon until 8. 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D, the Greenway Commons. It's scoreboard time. It's brought to you by our good friends at Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
Recapping this past weekend with LCCC women's basketball as they are competing in the Arizona Western Desert Classic down there in Yuma, Arizona. We'll start on Friday where they took on Anoka Ramsey Community College and got that victory 67-54. Saturday's contest against Midland College, who is at least nationally ranked at number 13. That also, too, was a win for LCCC, so a weekend sweep for the Lady Golden Eagles. So that puts them at 5-3 overall. They will have a game coming up tomorrow live at the Racket game. We will have live here on 1480 AM. 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is where you can hear the contest. Video live streaming on Periscope via Twitter and the 1480KRAE YouTube channel. It will be LCCC women's basketball taking on Colorado State, the University Club squad, the Lady Rams, as a 7 o'clock tip-off time, 6:40-ish. Pregame show here on 1480 KRAE. Do want to remind folks that at least with LCCC men's basketball, again, we were set to have a game coming up at least this past Saturday, live from Price, Utah, as they were going to take on Utah State Eastern. The Eagles out there, but unfortunately that game was canceled due to the fact that road conditions and weather conditions were not at least the best. We were unable to get out to Price, Utah. So, again, that game has been canceled. And so far, to our understanding, will not be rescheduled. So, again, we will talk more with head coach Jason Ficka coming up Wednesday on our LCCC Coaches Show here live on Wyoming Sports Talk today. NHL action for tonight. Buffalo Sabres at home. They will host the New Jersey Devils. Vegas Golden Knights will travel out to New York to Madison Square Garden to see the Rangers. Detroit Red Wings at home. They will host the New York Islanders. Chicago Blackhawks at home at the United Center. They will see the St. Louis Blues. And last but not least, in the freeway face-off, it will be the Anaheim Ducks at home at Honda Center. They will host the LA Kings. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
And on the NBA scoreboard, let's run them down for you. It will be the Suns and the Hornets in the Spectrum Center. Jazz 76ers at the Wells Fargo Center. Warriors, let's see who they'll lose to tonight. The Hawks at the State Farm Arena. Knicks and the Bucks in the Fiserv Forum. Pacers Grizz at the FedEx Forum. Bulls Kings in Sacramento at the Golden One Center in Sacramento. National Football League, Monday Night Football. Will Seattle replace San Francisco on top the NFC West? It's at CenturyLink Field tonight as the Hawks will entertain the Minnesota Vikings. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Alright, if you're a gamer, you know the world of gaming is full of amazing gear. Portable cannons, flying tanks, whoa, like that one, mythic artifacts. But the most advanced tool in gaming today isn't even in the game. It's right in your hand. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel is purpose-built for gaming, created with pro gamers for gamers. What does that mean? It means it's formulated with ingredients that have been shown to improve accuracy, whoa, and alertness. And Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel tastes great too. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel even comes in a special can with a uniquely textured grip, so it's easy to refuel between respawns. The ones you're furiously trying to avoid? Hey, there we go. So next time you log online, gear up. Get the drink designed for gaming. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Christmas trees, jingle bells, wrapping paper, and presents. The holiday season is upon us. There's no doubt that this is the most wonderful time of the year. Hi, this is Rick Flood with Platte Valley Bank. I would like to express our sincere appreciation for your confidence and loyalty. We are deeply thankful and extend to you our best wishes for a happy and healthy holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Take care of stress. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. With the new Kia vehicle, you get one of the best warranties in America. The new 2020 Kia Soul comes with a completely redesigned exterior and interior, all new high-tech features, and an available turbocharged engine. This hatchback has 16 exterior color options and plenty of available features. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or a retailer for details.
What is Schwab's modern approach to investing? It's great service. It's transparency about how much you're paying in fees and commissions. It's offering some of the lowest costs in the industry backed by a satisfaction guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund the eligible fees and work with you to make things right. So ask yourself, are you getting low cost and award-winning service? If not, maybe it's time to call Schwab. Visit Sam at the Cheyenne Independent Branch or schwab.com/Cheyenne for more information. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny and windy. Expected daytime high near 40 degrees. Westerly winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear and windy for tonight with our low down to 32 degrees. Westerly winds at 30 to 35, decreasing to 25 to 30 after midnight, and wind gusts could get as high as 50 miles per hour. And for Tuesday, sunshine and breezy. Look for a daytime high near 41 degrees. Westerly winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
As Clint Eastwood once said, adapt and improvise, and that's what we're doing here this afternoon. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's good to be back in studio after the snowmageddon that we had here over the last few days. Nick Perotti, yours truly, Larry Perotti, and our special guest, our first guest, Tagg Lain, head coach of the Cheyenne Central Indians basketball. Get to talk some hoops, as we already are involved a little bit with LCCC men's and women's basketball. As Nick mentioned, we were wiped out due to the weather here on Friday. Going to get after it tomorrow.
Yeah, we were talking off air, at least I was with Coach Lain, of just trying to get at least information on our first upcoming contest high school wise, as we will follow Cheyenne Central down at least the 19th, 20th, and 21st, I do believe, but later in December, right before the Christmas break, as they will travel down to Greeley, at least being a part of that Greeley Central tournament that they host pretty much year in and year out. So again, at least that's our first contest out of the box here on KRAE, as a seeing whole bunch of Cheyenne Central basketball before it hits 2020.
All right, Coach, let's talk with you real quick, and let's get into the crux of our conversation. It's that time for them to shed a few turkey pounds and get ready to play basketball for Tagg Lain again.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited. We missed a couple practices over break because of the snow and the snow day, but we're going to get back out there tonight. We got a lot of things to accomplish this week, and just a couple days next week before we head and try to take on a team that knocked our season off track last year in a tough first round matchup at state. Kelly Walsh and Kelly Walsh went on to win the state championship, and so to be in their gym and play the defending state champs and have a chance to avenge that loss, which was a tough 55-50 loss. We're motivated, but hopefully we can get everything in time.
You know, one of the nice things, too, with your squad this year, and again, we know the obvious, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, but you have a lot of guys that are coming over from football, so they're in pretty good shape to start with.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the way our program has moved forward and really taken a step forward in football, and it's kept them out of the gym a little bit, but on the other hand, you love the fact that these guys are competing, winning, and getting the taste of it at a high level. And I think we're going to have a lot of guys that take the experiences of playing into that playoff and having success in the playoffs in football onto the basketball court. And we've got a lot of returning guys with minutes and time on the court, and excited to see how this team kind of develops throughout the course of the year.
Now, as we look into 2019-2020, this upcoming season, especially for you, Tagg, where you talk about last season, what happened, where Kelly Walsh Trojans are your defending 4A state champions, team that kind of shocked the world, so to speak, especially a few favorite teams, including yours last year, to anticipate to win the state title. But again, Kelly Walsh is your defending 4A state champions. But as you look around Class 4A, and again, you look at your southeast quadrant here in Class 4A, whether it's east, south, or Laramie, what teams are kind of on your radar? What teams do you believe return good amount of starters that are kind of high on your radar that could do something special here to keep your eye on, so to speak?
Well, I think all these teams in the South are going to be tough, and it's going to be exciting basketball here, in the city and at Story Gym when we take on those crosstown rival games. I think East has got, a team that's going to really compete at a high level. Obviously, they lose a great player in Oliver, but they've got other guys that are ready to fill in and are going to do a great job for them. Last year I had my assistant was Jim Schaefer, and he's one of the, he's in the Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame coach, and now he goes over and takes over the Laramie job, and I think there's some guys in his program and along with his expertise that are going to make them an excellent team in this league. Jeff Bailey does a great job over at South, and they got great productivity from a lot of young guys. So, all those guys are going to be tough. Right now, at this point in the year, you just focus on yourself, try to get better. Sheridan only lost one game last year in the state, and 2 overall. And they return a couple of their big guys that are big factors and state championship football teams. So those are all going to be good teams. Thunder Basin is going to be a good team. Gillette is always, winning it or in the semis or in the finals. And so it's going to be tough go all season long, but the competition hopefully of playing around here and playing these guys will make us better.
We're talking with Tagg Lain, head coach of the Cheyenne Central Indians. You know, Tagg, I've seen Cheyenne Central basketball for 33 years now. And, you know, I've seen you on the bench, you know, as an assistant, as a head coach, Lou and Dwayne and, you know, Steve Cates, and I can even throw in there. Mike was in there also. And, oh, gosh, you know, I'm going to roll, you know, Kevin McLeod, you know, all these guys. But I'm looking at your team this year, and you mentioned Sheridan. That was a good mention, too, because they are always big. They're physical. This has to be one of the bigger Cheyenne Central teams, and I'm talking size-wise, that's going to be stepping on the floor for you in 2020.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's kind of funny. I think, you know, we've probably got the smallest point guard in the state in Ryan Stampley, but he's an absolute stud and a key part of our team. And then we've got the biggest guy in the state with Lawson Lovering. So we get both ends of it. But, you know, the Storbow twins are juniors now. They give us great size and physicality inside. Randy LeBeaumont got his feet wet last year as a senior this year. I think he's going to have an excellent year. When everybody gets healthy, we get Cade Burns back as another 6'7" guy. And, you know, Nathaniel Talich as a freshman last year was an important guard for us. I think he's a pretty big guard at about 6'2", and we're looking for big things out of him. So, you know, we've got a lot of size, and we've got different guys that can fill different roles. And most of all, I thought, you know, over the summer, playing together this summer, we had a great summer. It was just a camaraderie of these guys and how they pull for each other that made our summer exciting and fun. And, you know, we're looking forward to getting out there and getting it rolling.
Let's talk about your big man, though, with Lawson Lovering, who at least spotlight one on the Central High Indians squad where, again, a few months ago we had the verbal commitment by him, whether it was on Twitter, and, again, it blew up across the city of Cheyenne, but verbal commit to at least the University of Colorado. So keeping locally, but, again, a D1 product. But, you know, again, he's still got a lot of high school left to go, a lot of at least basketball seasons with you, Tagg. You know, talk about how proud you are that he is getting those looks that, again, is going to a very prestigious kind of basketball school, D1 program to represent the city of Cheyenne and also to Central High basketball. But also, too, how do you keep him focused with the remaining years that he does have at Central to not kind of overstep his bounds, so to speak, overlook Central and not put too much focus on CU of Boulder?
Well, the greatest thing about Lawson is he really reminds me in a lot of ways of the caliber of person and talent of the Nemos when I had those guys through the baseball program, because they, although you know they're going to go on and go on to bigger and better things and great things, they always focused on their teammates first. They always focused on their goals that are here in front of them. And I think Lawson wanted to make a decision now going into his junior year and take a run at winning a couple state championships in high school. And, you know, he's a guy who has continued to get better because his work ethic is off the charts. He's in the gym. He's committed. He's determined. You know, he's a willing passer for a 7-footer. He's looking for his teammates. But I think most of all what he's spoken about with me over the course of the last year since the end of last season is, Coach, let's get back and win. Let's win a state championship. And you know, that was one thing with the CU recruiting process is those coaches talked to him and said, you know, we'd like to see you win some state titles, and let's get this thing out of the way and make some decisions and move on back into your high school years and finish them off strong. And so, you know, we want to do something special this year. I think he's a special kind of person, a special kid. So it's going to be a lot of fun to have him, and he's certainly improved a great deal, and he'll continue to improve.
You know, you look at the makeup of your team. Big guys, tall, thick guys with Storbows, and then again, you got some speed in the backcourt, and you got some up-and-comers that are going to be part of this team. You know, the most obvious offensive attack is going down low into the low block and going into Lovering. But, you know, tell us a little bit about the makeup of this team. Is it going to be wins of 55-50? Is it going to be that we can shatter the scoreboard? Tell us a little bit what you're expecting out of this team.
Well, what we want to do is we want to play downhill, and that's going to be the big factor for us because we got a lot of guys. Lawson could put it on the floor. We got a lot of guys that can attack. We don't want to settle, but we don't want to necessarily have to set up in the half court every single possession and try to pound it in or get 2 or 3 guys surrounding Lawson and be committed to a physical hack fest maybe in some cases last year and guys attacking him. But I think we're gonna try to push the ball up. We're gonna try to attack the basket from all 5 positions, and we're gonna try to share the ball. And we would certainly love to be a team that's capable of scoring in the 60s and 70s on a regular basis. We started out last year and had a lot of games where we played into the 60s and had a lot of success. We won 19 games, but then things got bogged down a little bit towards the conference tournament and into the state tournament. We got stuck in the 50s a bunch, and we'd like to find a way to play downhill and play aggressive to the rim, and get it out and push a little bit. And I think I really like our guards' ability to make decisions, and I like our guys' ability to attack the basket and to go attack the offensive glass a little bit and see if we can't score some points.
I also like to think on the defensive side with Cheyenne Central. Again, obviously I'm not the coach that you are, but I'm also thinking, wow, you got Lawson Lovering in the middle, so you definitely want to shut that down, all the inside pick and rolls. But secondary, it almost makes your defense like you could set it up just to go zone most of the time and dare them to try to go inside.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think, really, if you take a look at the way we were able to overcome kind of getting down 6 or 8 points to Thunder Basin last year and finding a way into the state tournament, we did it by getting into a little half-court trap and using some of our length to put some pressure on them to make some passes over our size and speed people up. And we were able to turn that game around late and score late and get some buckets out of that. So I think you'll see us using some half-court trap stuff and maybe putting some length out on the point on the top of that and making guys have to deal with some of that size. And then I think you'll see us, use our zone a little bit. We've been successful with that defensively. And we're hoping to be athletic enough to guard man-to-man, and, that's been the staple of our program. And, that's what got us a state championship in 2016. And, we feel like we can play defensively at a high level, so we want to do that as well. But I think mix and match and try to get the defense to turn over some guys and get some easy buckets. And not a lot of kids have to come up and face a 7-footer out on the top and, throw over him or around him. And Lawson's athletic enough to make something like that difficult for people.
As we look at this upcoming season for you, Tagg, again, as we're early into practices before we get into at least non-conference action here with Cheyenne Central, but, looking at last year's team, again, at least getting into the consolation round, again, early exit, or at least, again, a loss in that state champion, at least state tournament to Kelly Walsh, but carrying over here to 2019-2020, a lot of familiar faces as part of your Indians team. What is the main aspect right now in practices when weather kind of cooperates with us out here in Cheyenne? Right. But what's kind of the main focus right now? What is kind of the Achilles heel, so to speak, of Cheyenne Central basketball that you want to perfect and at least make perfect before we get into actual basketball?
Well, there's so many things that we got to work on. What I'm proud of so far to get started is senior leadership, a lot of talk, a lot of communication, a lot of excitement and energy. And that's something that you have to have, and it's something that, is difficult to have in such a long basketball season. You got to keep the energy, the focus, the intensity, the effort, and have great practices every day. We've got a lot of good players in our gym, and so it gives you an opportunity to practice and play at a high level every day. And so, I think just the way that we go about it, this is what I talk to the kids about, is we want to do something special. Our focus is going to be not what we get at the end of the day in terms of wins and losses, but what we put into this season day to day. That's what we want to have be special. And if that's special, the things that we want at the end of the day, at the end of the year, will come out.
Tagg, you mentioned about state championship, obviously the ultimate goal, and having that conversation with Mike Apodaca on the football side, and again, Mike being part of those state championships as a player and now trying to revive that excitement on the football program. You have been state champion You had been on staff on a state championship team. Cheyenne Central, when you think of state championship basketball, you think it comes through Cheyenne Central. There was a time where Mike Curry up there at Gillette had a nice little run, but when you think of state championship basketball, you think of Cheyenne Central. How much of tradition plays a part in your philosophy to the kids?
It plays a great big part, really does, and that's a great question. And, we talked about at the end of the year, we had a team meeting. We said, okay, what are our goals? And we said we want to do something special. So I said, well, do you guys understand the history of this school? 25 state championships, what would be special? We've got multiple seasons that ended undefeated in state championships. And so, for us to focus, and we know that you're not going to do something special at Central High School if you don't end up winning a state championship. That doesn't go up on the banner, and there's 25 of those up on the banner. But at the same time, you can't do better than an undefeated season in a state championship, and it's been done. And it's been done. Dwayne Cook did it, and, Lou was right in there with it. Okie Blanchard did it in his years as a head basketball coach. So Jim Story did it. So it's been done. And so, what I want to focus our kids on is what do we invest here? What do we invest in each other? What do we invest every single day? If that's special, we'll end up on the stage at the end of the day, and this is a team that's capable of being there, and we will be proud of the product that we put together. That's special, what we put in every day, and so I'm excited to get it started. It started out on the right foot from the end of the last season. We had a meeting the very next Monday after the state tournament, and I tell you what, I think we've done it at a state championship level every week, week to week throughout the season, and we want to put in another week like that this week.
You're using a lot of terms over there, Coach Lain. We're, again, special, proud. This is going to be my final thought for you, Coach. And, again, we appreciate you joining us in studio today talking about Central High basketball. Now, we're going to move away from basketball here really quickly. You're going to get into kind of the proud father, proud papa moment right here, right now, as we've followed throughout this entire, at least summer. Again, having your son in, Ty Lain, talking about Post 6 and what an incredible season they had. Again, you, a former, at least, head coach over there, manager for the Post 6 Sixers. I just want you a chance right now, again, live on air. Hopefully Ty would be listening to this at some point in time. But, again, being a part of that, seeing what your son has done with that program, the historic first going on to a kind of a postseason tournament, albeit the Connie Mack World Series down there in New Mexico. Just talk about the emotions that entire season, just seeing that, what Ty did for the Post 6 Sixers this season.
You know what, I tell you, it's surreal. And to see them walk out on the field at Connie Mack World Series, to find a way to win that tournament here in Cheyenne, the CABA tournament that they won, remarkable. But then, we go out there, you're a proud father. He's made his name for himself as a coach, and, you guys are in the same business. My son and I are in the same business, and you're raised in it. You know how it's supposed to be done. He's done it right. He's done it the right way. He's done it his way, and I couldn't be more proud of him. He told me going into that thing, he goes, "Dad, they got a fungo contest, and I'm going to go out there and show him what's what." He hit a ball out of the ballpark in the fungo contest, so he was as juiced up as the players, and they competed at a really high level. And I'm super proud of all those guys and the program and those baseball players. And we've got some of those baseball players in our program, and, they know how to win. And that's a credit to him, and it's a credit to that baseball program. Mike Apodaca actually was a guy who played for me my first year coaching and won a state championship, and he was 16 years old and on the B team and the Hawks team. And, you know what kind of winner he is. And so it's a lot of fun to have some of these guys around. Rusty Horsley was on my staff at one point, and he's over there and at East High School and having his guys compete at a high level. So, that baseball piece is a whole big community piece, and it makes us all part of one big family. And so I'm real proud of what he's done, no question. Thanks for the question.
Well, Tagg, we want to thank you very much for joining us. We wish you all the best during the upcoming season. I like the one key word that he said there, undefeated. It hasn't been done in a long time. And real quick, Tagg, before we do let you slip on out, again, Dwayne Cook, as I recall, the last coach to have an undefeated season. You know it as well as I do, the talent level, especially here in our quadrant, as well as the Thunder Basins, the Gillettes of the world, Sheridan. You can go on and on and on. It's tough to run the table.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know that we even put that in as a goal, but the one thing is it's been done, so that can't be your ultimate goal. But yeah, it's just a thing where we want to compete at a high level. I thought we were very competitive last year. We win 19 games. We have maybe one or two games that I wasn't impressed with our level of competition. I think we're going to be right in the mix. By the way, you mentioned on our schedule in Scotts Bluff just down the road is another great basketball program. Is we got to play them on the road, and we got to start up at Casper Kelly Walsh. But what we want to do for sure is we want to put everything into each day, every practice, do it the right way, do it for each other. And at the end of the day, when we walk out on the floor in the state tournament, we will have been there before, right down to the end in a gut check time, and I think those things will pay off for us. And somebody's going to have to beat a 7-footer that's a Division I basketball player and a bunch of kids that know how to play around him. And that's going to give us a chance to be a pretty high-level team.
Tagg Lain joining us here on 1480 KRAE. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480krae.com.
Season's greetings from La Osteria Mondello. First and most importantly, thank you for your past and present patronage. Your business is not forgotten and is truly appreciated. This is the season of peace on earth and goodwill to men. So from Joe Mondello and everyone at La Osteria Mondello, 1507 Stillwater Avenue in Cheyenne, they want to take this time to wish you a buon Natale, a buon anno. Thank you for dining local. La Osteria Mondello is truly blessed to have you as a friend and valued customer. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Give your family and friends the gift of safety and security this holiday season with B&B Appliances' lineup of Ring doorbells and security cameras. Monitor your surroundings from the convenience of your phone or tablet. Any customer who purchases one of their connected home products will receive a free Google Mini while supplies last. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Ave. Best brands, hometown service.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
When you are dealing with the Coin Shop to buy, sell, or trade your gold, silver, or other precious metals, you will be met with honesty, fairness, knowledge, and exceptional customer service. The Coin Shop has been serving Cheyenne since 1982 and is a respected member of our community. Call David today at 778-7196 to meet privately or visit during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. The Coin Shop, a dealer you can trust, 510 West 16th Street.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Talk today. Larry Perotti along with Nick Perotti. And it is kind of a basketball-themed week as we'll try to get our local coaches in. You've got Eric Westling coming up. He is the East Girls head coach around 4:30 this afternoon. We'll sandwich in between them Vince Gibson after a very successful run by the LCCC Golden Eagles soccer team. We also have heard from Coach Bailey over at South. We'll be chatting with him, Rusty Horsley.
Yeah, well, at least
Coach DeBryan at South.
Yeah, so far we've heard from all but at least one, that be it at least Coach Kirkbride from Cheyenne, at least Central, again, girls basketball. But again, this week will be dedicated to high school basketball here in town, covering all 6 teams, again, both boys and girls between South, Central, and East, as we prepare for the 2019-2020 campaign as it's getting underway. Again, practice is already underway, games getting at least set here, at least do believe in at least next weekend. Again, our first contest here on 1480 KRAE, as I mentioned beforehand, again, happening Thursday, December 19th, Friday the 20th, Saturday the 21st. That will be our first 3 games, or at least 6 in total. That will be Cheyenne Central, I do believe, both boys and girls, as they'll be competing down in Greeley Central. Again, at least Tagg Lain was at least gracious enough to pass along the schedule that he just received about that tournament happening at the end of December. So again, our first high school action here on KRAE coming just right before that Christmas holiday, again, the 19th, 20th, and the 21st, all starting off with Cheyenne Central basketball. But yes, again, we'll preview Cheyenne East, Cheyenne South, get that all underway. Also, too, we will Wednesday have at least our LCCC coaches show once again, due to the fact that, again, it was canceled last week because of the weather, as pretty much everything else was canceled this past 2 weeks here in Cheyenne. But again, we will have that. We will also too have women's basketball coming up tomorrow here live on 1480 KRAE. Again, 7 o'clock tip-off, 6:40-ish pregame show here on 1480 KRAE, as it will be LCCC women's basketball in action against the CSU club team. Again, the Lady Rams. Again, that team coming up and playing at the RAC. I do want to mention as well, too, a nice little at least charity fundraiser, at least charity event happening there at the RAC tomorrow. Girls on the Run. I do believe with it, it's going to be the same as what the guys had set in stone for their contest when they hosted Otero here. Again, all proceeds, all ticket sales there live at the RAC should go to at least this charity benefit. So again, go out, go support LCCC basketball coming up tomorrow at the RAC, and also too, it's for a great cause as well.
Let's move on to college football over the weekend, where the Wyoming Cowboys
still couldn't beat
as expected.
An above 500 team.
They lose to the Falcons by the count of 20-6. And again, here we are with the quarterback shuffle. Is it Levi Williams? Is it Tyler Vanderwall, in place of Sean Chambers until Chambers comes back next year? Well, Levi Williams, he toted the football 15 times, 79 yards in the loss. But again, and you know what? I'm glad, because I was chatting with quite a few folks that I had a chance to get out and see this weekend. I'm not the only boo bird out here on this offensive coordinator or this offense.
No.
And a lot of people are sick and tired of
if
no,
anything,
wait a minute, let me finish. A lot of people are sick and tired of Coach Bull referring to us as armchair quarterbacks. We see what's going on, and if you aren't seeing what's going on, then you've got a problem there, Coach, because, again, you had 111 yards in the air. Granted, cold night, we understand that. And you had 114 yards on the ground. Well,
again, cold, warm, here, there, wherever, again, throughout this entire season, the offense has been pretty consistent, albeit outside of, 1 or 2 contests. Again, the blowout win against UNLV. But other than that, though, this team has struggled. It has, I do believe, one of the near dead last offensive productions in all of college football, at least in D1 of the FBS level. They have one of the worst offensive productions. Now, again, it got them a 7-5 record this year. They finished.
Big deal.
Yeah,
big deal.
Well, and that's kind of the big question. I was thinking about.
Is Coach still under 500 after 6 seasons? Yes.
Yeah, he's
still under 500.
He's still under 500. Still, I do believe 2 games below the Mendoza line on at least Mountain West Conference games as well.
And how many Mountain West Conference championships?
0.
In 6 years.
Yeah, you won't have another one coming up. It will be Boise State versus Hawaii for the Mountain West Championship. So excited for that one. Boise will be hosting that game there at Albertson Stadium. But it is something where this team did finish 7-5. They are 4 years straight bowl eligible. Again, a program, or at least the Cowboys, in recent memory, at least for me, through the 2000s, not really known for getting at least postseason, bowl bids. It's not a perennial football powerhouse, but it is something that, he's gotten this team into postseason action, kind of put the Cowboy name on the map, so to speak.
Was it him or was it Josh Allen?
I'd say more than probably Josh Allen and what he's doing. But it is something that the Cowboys, yes, 4 straight years, bowl eligible, albeit again they were 1-1, missed or at least did not get to a bowl last year, and we'll see what happens this year. They should make it to a bowl, but again, I have my argument of why they should be the odd man out to the rest of the Mountain West, at least bowl eligible teams. But it is something to Cowboy fans, and again, second largest crowd in War Memorial at least history for 6 straight wins, again undefeated at home this year. They showed up. They supported their team, again, albeit that they won at home, so that does help too.
6-0 at home, 1-5 on the road.
So it's a situation of what's more important to Cowboy fans. Is it bowl eligibility, getting to that postseason, Mountain West championships, or, again, what is more important to a Cowboy fan nowadays? Is it something where, yes, you're proud of the fact that this team goes to the Mexico Bowl, to the Potato Bowl, and beats, or at least takes on a Central Michigan or some other mid-major team. Gets whipped on by BYU in the Poinsettia Bowl, but, takes care of business. It wins a Potato Bowl, and you put that up there on the ring up there at War Memorial Stadium. It was something that I wanted to make a poll, and I thought about it over this weekend of what is more important to fans. Is it something that you're, you want that postseason berth, you want that bowl victory, or do you want Mountain West championships? Do you want to be like a Boise State? Do you want to be like a Hawaii that's now getting that representation? Again, yes, Craig Bowl got this team to a Mountain West, at least championship game, but they lost. They're 0-1 in a championship, so they still have no, at least Mountain West Conference titles. The last, I do believe, title for at least for the Wyoming Cowboys, you have to go back to the WAC days. I do believe, early 90s to be WAC champions?
Oh, they actually tied with BYU, but also, too, that was under Joe Tiller, but they had WAC championships under Paul Roach back-to-back. So that's the 80s, late 80s.
I thought I saw that they had a WAC championship in the early 90s, but I could be
wrong.
That
would have been under Joe Tiller.
Anyways, though, but that's just my main question right now. Is it something that, and it was something I posted on Facebook of 7-5, you finish behind Utah State, you finish behind Air Force, you finish behind Boise State. This is a team that was, it finished where it was expected to finish this season. They're middle of the pack, at least in the Mountain Division, behind those other teams. But it is the question of, did this team meet your expectations, fall below your expectations, or exceed your expectations? And again, this is a team where, for me, honestly, exceeded my expectations, where I didn't think this team was going to be bowl eligible because you had the big question marks of the offense. Whether it was the line, whether it was a QB situation, your wide receivers, and also, too, your defense that had a lot of missing big guys, a lot of big names that were gone from this team that graduated or moved on. There were question marks throughout the entire Cowboys offense and defense. For me, looking back, on the regular season for the Wyoming Cowboys, they exceeded, hitting 7-5. If I look back to my predictions, I think I had this team winning 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I had them at 4-8. Yeah.
They did a lot better than what I thought. So I give kudos to Craig Bowl. I give credit to the Cowboys. You went above my expectations.
I think you give credit to the new defensive coordinator. I think he got more out of that because, again, the question mark was the defense this year. Yeah, we know we had Logan Wilson back, but we had question marks after a lot of graduations.
And, again, defense that at least Cowboys held their hat on last season due to the fact that, again, the questionable offense, whether it is players or play calling, whatever it may be, again, it was something that the Cowboys last year relied on, was going to be missing this season, or that's what we thought preseason, but it stepped up and it was above and beyond our expectations. If not, again, it was one of the best defenses in all the land, slowing down a lot of these teams, slowing down and being competitive. Again, you were competitive against Boise State on the road, competitive, well, or at least you slowed down a very potent Air Force team to only 20 points. I give kudos to that. You managed to at least quiet down UNLV. You kept out of things with, defense had a lot of positivity. Again, not a whole lot of games the Cowboys competed in this last year, at least this season, did they get really blown out of. All credit to that defense. Again, you go back-to-back years where they held their hat on a fantastic defense. So, yeah, defensive coordinator, kudos to you. You got it done.
You know, and again, you look at the bowl commitments for the Mountain West Conference, and again, we had them going to possibly the Cheez-It Bowl. And I've
seen the Potato Bowl. I've seen the Mexico Bowl. We'll see.
And I think what happened with Nevada, I think Nevada might have played themselves out of bowl eligibility.
Yeah, again, that ridiculous loss to UNLV. But again, it is a rivalry.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Again,
you shouldn't have lost to the Running Rebels, without a doubt. But
you know, again, where the Cowboys expect
Nevada will still go to a bowl game. I think all 7 teams will make it for the Mountain West.
Again, one of the bowls, and I'm not mistaken, Nick, one of the bowls is not. This is, and it's a matter of fact, it's the Cheez-It Bowl. It says here the Cheez-It Bowl is conditional for the Mountain West if bowl can't fill a spot. So, again, the situation with Nevada, they might have played themselves out of, I think that we were looking at the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl for Nevada. They may not go.
No.
So, it's, again, we're not going to know much here until I think
about a week, or at least it should be
Sunday, soon.
It should be Sunday after, again, or at least late Saturday. This weekend after, again, all those at least championship games are played out, and also I think between Army and Navy, that's the last deciding game. But other than that, though, we will know very soon of who's going where and what teams are getting representative and all that fun stuff. Again, I think Wyoming, without a doubt, will be going to a bowl, but it is a question mark of, yes, is it Potato Bowl once again in Boise? Are you going down to Albuquerque once again? Or is it going to be something that's a little bit different? Is it something also, too, again, you would hope Craig Thompson fights for this Wyoming Cowboys team, where, again, left them in the dust and tried to spotlight Boise State last year to get them to a bowl game that they did not even participate in. But you wonder if at least the Mountain West commissioner and those in charge of this, at least, conference stand up for Wyoming, also to stand up for fans that showed up at War Memorial Stadium. That, again, second largest crowd. Let's not snuff at that. Where you wonder if that gets them a little bit more respect.
It helps their bowl possibility.
You minus the wins and losses, so to speak, or at least where, again, we went into the stats and the analytics and the numbers of where, again, they struggled against, one above 500 win out of their 7 games. That hurts, again, that kind of, okay, who'd you really beat? What impressive win do you have on your schedule?
You beat Mizzou, and Mizzou just fired their coach.
Yeah. Again, that ends my argument right there. But I'm just saying, I would hope that the fans, or at least the crowd, that is something that the Mountain West and those folks, and again, the bowl committees see that of, okay, yes, they travel well, they packed up this place.
And they were competitive in their losses. Again, look at the losses this year. They lost to Tulsa by 3. They lost to San Diego State by 4. They lost to Boise State by 3. They lost to Utah State by 5. And Air Force was their worst loss, 14.
Yeah, and imagine if you had a decent offense that was, again, not so one-dimensional, not so predictable as what we've been saying since last season with this Cowboys team. What if they had, a competent offense, or at least something that can match? Not saying it needs to be the top offense in all of
what they need is a balanced offense that can run the football along with throwing the football.
But I'm just saying, imagine that. If you had a balanced offense that was, again, both passing, running, not one-dimensional, you had options out there, you had capable an offensive line and also receivers that could catch a ball, and, you could only play the what-if game of what would happen.
So my question would be to you, Nick. You're on the staff of the Cowboys right now. You're out recruiting. Are you looking for wide receivers? Boy, it's a tough sell. Come to Wyoming where we might throw you the football.
Yeah, if you're a wide receiver, if you're top tier, if you're a 3-star, 2-star caliber receiver, I wouldn't think anything of Wyoming at this point in time, especially where you look at even some of the subpar Mountain West teams. We're looking at CSU. CSU throws a ball. Granted, CSU, too, is also committing right now, as it seems that they're still sticking with one head coach, Mike Bobo. We'll see what happens, right now down there in Fort Collins. But it is a situation that if I am a wide receiver where, again, as I'm going to D1, I'm getting scouted by D1 schools, my end goal is to make it onto the pro level. Wyoming's not that school. Wyoming's not going to help my stats. That's going to help me get at least my looks.
It's hard enough to sell Laramie as it is to a potential recruit. But again, Boise throws the football, and they throw it well. Utah State is throwing the football. They're throwing it well. You got San Diego State, perennial football throw. How about Hawaii? I mean, there's 4 teams there before I would even think about Wyoming that I would want to go play for, where, hey, I at least got a shot at getting the football thrown to me.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's certainly something that's going to hurt and affect, and we'll see what happens. Again, is Brent Vigen going to be removed as the offensive coordinator?
He's not.
I don't. Yeah, highly unlikely that he will ever be removed. Again, even with the
armchair quarterbacks,
the outcry, whether it is social media, the boo birds that have been out last season and this season regarding the slow offense, he's still sticking around. Let's be honest. We know that should be a guarantee. I
think what we need to do next year, fans on the Wyoming side, and of course the Wyoming coaching staff. If I'm sitting on the press box, they are to the left of us. What we should do is get a little section down there on a 3rd down and 15 and put a sign. Hey, coach, run the ball.
Yeah,
we already know what you're going to do.
Yeah, 3rd and 15. Again, in a passing situation, you attempt to run for whatever reason. Again, that is not a small sample size. That has been going on for a couple of years now with the Wyoming Cowboys.
And to Coach Bull, most teams that are probably watching you as of late got to probably stack the box against you next year. So hopefully you can get a passing game going, because they're going to be keying on Valladay. They're going to be keying on Chambers. I might be an armchair quarterback, but your offense is the weakest in Division I right now. And sorry, it's just it's boring football watching the Cowboys.
And again,
not defense.
You
look
at the close, at least losses. You even mentioned a few in the Mount West, but go back to University of Tulsa on the road, 21-24. Imagine you had a defense or at least an offense that was slightly better against statistically.
Or Chambers doesn't fumble at the 3.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, this is a team that could be 8-4 if you got that. Again, that was a 3-point loss there. You look at 4 points, you lose on the road to San Diego State. What if Cowboys again? What if Josh Allen was there? Or again, you had an offensive-minded team, a balanced run or a balanced offense with the Wyoming Cowboys? Who knows? 9-3. As you mentioned as well, too. You lost in overtime to Boise State at there. What if you had a competent offense that was balanced? Could you be 10-2?
Hey, you
lost by 5 on the road to Utah State.
I'm going to put it bluntly to the fans out there.
This team, I'm just saying, if it had a competent, balanced offense, you could be saying that this team legitimately, especially how the defense carried him, probably had a one loss.
Let me put it very bluntly, Nick. If you want mediocre, then keep this coaching staff. Okay? You can go to a bowl game. You can go to these junk bowls for all I care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch the famous Potato Bowl. I'm not going to watch the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl. I'm not going to watch the Nova Holmes, Arizona Bowl. I don't care. I'll come in here and read it on the scoreboard, because those games mean nothing to me. They're lousy. Okay? I'm going to watch the championship game. I'll probably watch the Rose, because that's got tradition behind it.
Yeah.
But again, if you want mediocre, you keep Craig Bull and this coaching staff. That's all I got to say.
And again, the argument,
because that's what you're going to get next year, mediocre.
But the argument is it better to go to one of the junkie bowls or not go to a bowl at all?
Hey, for a Wyoming fan, I guess getting out of Wyoming in December and going to Arizona, that's great.
Unless last year you go to Boise, and that's not any picnic.
That wasn't a lot of fun, was it, when they went to the famous potatoes? It was actually colder there than it was here.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to get close to the top of the hour.
We need to take a timeout.
Right? No, real quick, I want to mention Josh Allen. We had a chance to watch him while we were eating dinner on Thanksgiving Day. And Buffalo Bills. Boy, you tip your cap to the Bills. I know Dallas isn't that good, but, again, Josh Allen looked very good against the Dallas Cowboys. So, again, right now they're the number 5 seed, so they would be taking on the number 4 seed. I would hate to be that number 4 seed. If I'm Kansas City or Houston, and Houston looked pretty good last night, I don't know if I want to match it with the Bills right now. We do need to take a timeout. We'll come back, 4 o'clock hour, and our first guest of the 4 o'clock hour will be LCCC soccer coach Vincent Gibson, coming up right here on 1480 KRAE.
Capital Lumber is #1 in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
Since 1966, family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company has been the stop for all lumber, paint, tools, accessories, remodel and do-it-yourself projects, and so much more. Now, Capital Lumber Company announces the beginning of a tasty relationship with Traeger grills, as they now have in stock several models of Traeger grills, along with pellets and accessories. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
The holiday season is a time when family traditions come alive. Hi, this is Rick Flood with a special Christmas wish from Platte Valley Bank. Whatever traditions you and your family will celebrate, may songs of joy fill your home with warmth and your heart with happiness this holiday season. On behalf of all of us at Platte Valley Bank, we would like to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Relieve your stress. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. With the new Kia vehicle, you get one of the best warranties in America. The new 2020 Kia Sportage comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. With the 2020 Kia Sportage, you get a new updated exterior, plenty of standard technology, driver-assisted features, and 2 available engines with available all-wheel drive. Come into Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com and we'll make it easy. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or a retailer for details.
What is Schwab's modern approach to investing? It's great service. It's transparency about how much you're paying in fees and commissions. It's offering some of the lowest costs in the industry backed by a satisfaction guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund the eligible fees and work with you to make things right. So ask yourself, are you getting low cost and award-winning service? If not, maybe it's time to call Schwab. Visit Sam at the Cheyenne Independent Branch or schwab.com/Cheyenne for more information. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny and windy. Expected daytime high near 40 degrees. Westerly winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear and windy for tonight with our low down to 32 degrees. Westerly winds at 30 to 35, decreasing to 25 to 30 after midnight, and wind gusts could get as high as 50 miles per hour. And for Tuesday, sunshine and breezy. Look for a daytime high near 41 degrees. Westerly winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way, Platte Valley Bank on Vanda High, and at the corner of College and Pershing. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Powers Field and Menards. Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Lennox Autobody, Dunn Avenue. The Autoglass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. It's Mondello's Pizzeria. And it's scoreboard time. It's being brought to you by the great folks at Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Recapping this past weekend with LCCC women's basketball on the road at the Arizona Western Desert Classic in Yuma, Arizona, where LCCC got the at least weekend sweep on Friday and Saturday. Also 2 Saturdays contests against a nationally ranked number 13 Midland College team. So with those 2 wins for LCCC, they moved to 5-3 overall. They will have a game coming up tomorrow here live on 1480 KRAE. 7 o'clock tip-off, 6:40-ish pregame show here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is where you can hear the contest and video live live streaming on Periscope via Twitter and also to the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. NHL action for tonight. Buffalo Sabres at home. They will host the New Jersey Devils. Vegas Golden Knights will travel out to New York City to Madison Square Garden to see the Rangers. Detroit Red Wings at home. They will host the New York Islanders. In Chicago, Illinois at the United Center, the Blackhawks will host the St. Louis Blues. And last but not least, in the Freeway Face-Off, the Anaheim Ducks will play host to the LA Kings. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA slate, it'll be the Suns and the Hornets tonight in the Spectrum Center. 76ers in the Wells Fargo Center hosting the Jazz. Warriors and the Hawks in the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, GA. Knicks Bucks in the Fiserv Forum. Pacers Grizz at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. And in Sacramento at the Golden One Center in Sacramento, the Kings will entertain the Chicago Bulls. To the National Football League, CenturyLink Field for tonight, Monday Night Football, a good one. It will be the Seahawks entertaining the Minnesota Vikings. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi.
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Sports Talk Today, we get a chance now to talk to the head coach of the LCCC Golden Eagles men's soccer team, Vince Gibson. And it was kind of funny on Friday as we're sitting on a bus waiting to go to Price, Utah, and that game's getting canceled. We see Vince coming out of the rack, and Nick says to Pops, he says, "There's Vince." I say, "Yeah, he looks pretty tanned." So anyway, it's nice to be back. I'm sure being back home with the family, but talk about the experience with the team in Texas.
Well, it was a great experience. You know, it was a historic season, as you heard. I think we finished 16-5-1. Just being there was an experience, you know, playing the top caliber teams, just seeing those teams play, competing with those teams, giving an idea of what we need to do next year to hopefully be in that final game, and just great experience all the way around.
And again, we talk about how historic this was for you, Coach. Again, you being a part of at least this staff for a long time over there at LCCC, where, again, for the first time in men's soccer history for LCCC, again, advancing on, getting that district championship, which, again, you got to host here in town, and we could certainly talk about that. But, again, moving on and being a part of the national tournament where you actually got to move on to the semifinals, well, again, albeit where, unfortunately, came to an end against that Eastern Florida State College team down there in Tyler, Texas. But let's go back to that district championship game, talk about the emotions, and also to being able to host it here in town in front of your home, at least hometown fans.
You know, hosting it, it's big advantage. You know, we got our weather, we got our elevation, we got our home field. You know, the referees we're used to. We know how the field works. So the ball's going to be passed, shot, dribbling. It's just a huge advantage. You know, the team had to come in. I think they said they traveled like 12-plus hours. So their legs are a little bit sore and, you know, a little bit tired from all that travel, not moving around. So, but we still play good soccer. You know, we outshot this team. I'm surprised we didn't finish it off in the first or second half. You know, went into 2 overtimes, penalty kicks. I felt I had faith in our guys to take them, and they did. They did a wonderful job. Keeper did a good job making a huge save. Talk about emotions. You know, we've won a few region championships, and I'm not to be conceited. I'm kind of past that. I'm ready for the next level, and the district one was very emotional. That was the first time we've won that, and I had tears in my eyes, and so did a lot of the boys, and so that was a big moment for us. You know, just it was a fun ride.
Thanks for kind of answering my next question, because again, been on the coaching side before, been as a player, so I know about going to that next level. something that you just mentioned as a coach where you had tears in your eyes? And again, I would venture to say you probably had that same emotion, same reaction as those young men when they had that opportunity to step out in Texas and play and vie for this national title. I'm sure butterflies were flying as well.
They definitely were, and we wanted to tell the boys, our goal was to get here, but let's just see if we can keep going riding this train. And they did a good job. The first game, we got some jitters the first half. They came alive the second half, got 3 goals. We could have had a few more. We pulled back the reins a little bit. But playing that next game, it was tough. Playing Tyler, Texas at home, again, with their referees, tired legs. But, getting to the semifinals was not expected, and love these boys. They did a great job.
And you got to love that as well, too, how soccer works, especially in that national tournament where against that Tyler, Texas team, again, you lost that contest, but again, due to point differential, we're able to pass along. So talk about that of, again, losing that contest, but then knowing that, hey, you've advanced on to the semifinals. Just talk about that kind of question mark emotions of, well, we got beat, but, hey, at least we're moving on, though.
What an odd game to be a part of. We decided that we weren't going to play defense and just hang back there and park the bus. We decided to play that game. They give it to them. They're a great team. We saw what it takes to play at that level against a nationally ranked top team. But it was an interesting game where they had to get 3 goals to advance, and the first half 0-0. We thought we're hanging in there. We've had a few opportunities to put some away, and then all of a sudden, tides changed a little bit. And they're getting closer. They got a penalty kick goal, and then they scored another one right after that. And, we were kind of nervous there. But then at the end of the game, you hear their fans going wild, but you see their players hit the ground, and our players are jumping up in the air. It's just kind of weird to lose a game, but be excited you're moving on to the semifinals.
Takeaways from being at this national tournament for you on a personal level, as you mentioned, you saw some things there that hopefully you can put into play for LCCC. And again, the second part of the question is the reaction to LCCC being at this tournament.
Being there, we see the level of competition that we need to recruit to keep maintaining that, to be there all the time. We need to recruit these high talented kids. Jose and Brian Longbottom, a few of other of our assistant coaches have done a great job developing the talent we need. We need to go a little bit deeper, a little bit further, maybe get a few more internationals. But to maintain it, just being there, we saw that they're deep, and they're talented, and there's just not many weaknesses there. And if you have a weakness, they're going to exploit it. It's been great. A lot of fan support, a lot of support from the administration, the school for being there. The biggest support, I would say, those from our past players. Just all the support through their texts, their emails, their Facebook, just everything coming in, and just so happy. And I got to give them props, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are today. They helped build this, going to this stage. They blazed the trail, and I got to give them the past players a props.
It's essentially of, hey, what we did this season is a tribute to who came through those halls before these players on the current A-League soccer fields for LCCC. But, we look back at a historic season, a phenomenal season for LCCC, and again, it just drives you, coach, and again, your returning players, albeit at least the freshmen, if they do stick around to play at least their sophomore season with you, coach. Again, you got to love that drive, or at least now you got a taste of that national tournament. You got a taste of that semifinals. Again, you got to love that drive that you're going to see for, hey, we want more, if not bring home that national championship.
Most definitely. We kept our guys humble the whole time. We kept saying that no one's respecting you. You got to earn this. Even low-level teams, we said, this is your championship game. Don't look past these guys. And they had the great mindset all the way through. I think that helped them just not have the nerves and just say, hey, it's just one game at a time. We're going to keep pounding on these guys. But, you're going to talk to one of our players here in a few minutes, Chase Willett. I'll let him kind of talk about his 2 years here, because he has now 2 region titles, his freshman and sophomore year, and he's getting some looks at too to move on. So I'll kind of let these guys talk about that. And Blazing Trails, his older brother, was here too. Jalen Willett played 2 years for me as well, so he's a, trailblazer in himself.
Now, as we look past at least this season, now heading on to 2020 men's soccer, where we saw you busy at the rack again, doing who knows what in your office out there, Coach. Again, we're not going to assume anything, but that's on him. But either way, though, what's kind of on the agenda now? Again, here we are again. Obviously, I would assume recruiting's kind of the big thing right now in the off season. But what's kind of on the task right now before we get into at least practice time for men's soccer?
I've been busy on the phone with D1, D2 schools trying to get these sophomores moved on. We've gotten a lot of calls. We've got a lot of recruits coming in and just emailing me, texting me, calling me. So we're kind of filtering through those. We are getting ready for the recruiting season. We do have a whole bunch coming in here shortly in about a week. So yeah, we're busy there, but there's just a lot going on, making it this far. Just, you didn't think you'd have so much going on, but my head just about ready to explode.
Damn the snow. That's good. That's a great selling point when you got recruits coming in here right now, Coach. But real quick, those returning freshmen who will be sophomores next year, programs, do you have specialized programs for them? Do they sneak into the gym and kick a few balls around? What do you got going here in the offseason? Because, again, I know, and I've been in that situation like you don't want the season to end. You want it to go on, and you got to keep fresh somehow, some way.
Correct, yeah. For right now, they're working on academics, doing a lot of study hall, but they are doing some indoor soccer. It's not mandatory right now. We'll pick up February 1, and we'll start doing our indoor training and individualized training and small group training.
All right, Coach, we want to thank you so much. Congratulations on a wonderful season for the LCCC Golden Eagles men's soccer team. When we come back, Chase Willett will be joining us here on 1480 KRAE.
It's the time of year when sights and sounds remind us it's the holiday season. Hi, I'm Rick Flood with Platte Valley Bank. During this holiday season, may you be surrounded by the family and friends you hold dear, and may your heart be filled with Christmas cheer. At Platte Valley Bank, we are thankful for the relationships we have built with our customers and community. Best wishes for a very Merry Christmas and a peaceful and happy New Year from everyone at Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys, heard only right here, feature Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, 750 milliliter bottle, $11.49. Jack Daniel's Black No. 7 Tennessee Whiskey, 750 milliliter bottle, $15.99. And Busch or Busch Light, 30-pack, 12-ounce cans, $19.59. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader. MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in both Cheyenne and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151. Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local. Serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
Give your family and friends the gift of safety and security this holiday season with B&B Appliances' lineup of Ring doorbells and security cameras. Monitor your surroundings from the convenience of your phone or tablet. Any customer who purchases one of their connected home products will receive a free Google Mini while supplies last. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Ave. Best brands, hometown service.
The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny and windy. Expected daytime high near 40 degrees. Westerly winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear and windy for tonight with our low down to 32 degrees. Westerly winds at 30 to 35, decreasing to 25 to 30 after midnight, and wind gusts could get as high as 50 miles per hour. And for Tuesday, sunshine and breezy. Look for a daytime high near 41 degrees. Westerly winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
As we're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today, again, getting a chance to talk LCCC men's soccer, and we have one of the outstanding sophomores of that team, again, a Cheyenne East product, a defenseman, and we're talking right now with Chase Willett. I guess Chase, and as I understand from Coach, all regional.
Back-to-back, first team all region.
All right, that's nice to hear, but let's talk about the move from Cheyenne East to LCCC. Obviously, as you were saying off air while we were in a commercial break, real glad that you had a chance to play for Coach Gibson and the crew.
Oh yeah, it's a big difference going from high school to college, even if it's just JUCO. The speed of play is just faster. It's so different. The players' technicality is so much better. It's a lot to get used to. It's kind of awesome that I got to play at LCCC with Coach Gibson here. My brother played there, so I went to the games a lot, and I've always gone to the games since I was like 4 years old. So I knew of Coach Gibson, and I never really thought of going to college to play soccer, but I got the opportunity to.
Let's talk. Real quick, the experience going down to Tyler, Texas. Again, winning the region, winning the district championship, and then going off to this prestigious tournament. I mean, again, talk about having stars in your eyes, and again, you saw top tier talent. I mean, that had to be impressive to you.
Oh yeah, it was definitely impressive. Having a region title behind me from last year, we kind of knew what we were expecting going into that. But then going into the district, we knew that they would be a talented team and that we would have to work to get past them, and that's what we did. We're a kind of team that does not give up. And then going to nationals, the talent there is just amazing. You just watch the games and you're like, dang, these kids make me look small. But just the experience to go down there and play those type of teams, those type of players, it's awesome.
But again, as you're talking about, at least size differential between those teams, again, you guys were very competitive. Again, if not, again, one of the final four teams remaining in the nation, being at least competitive on the at least Division I and the NJCAA, at least division, and again, having a shot at the national title. So again, it speaks volumes of what you guys did, and again, also to head coach Vince Gibson of this LCCC men's soccer program. But I want to go back to something you mentioned, Chase, where again, your brother, where we kind of put on the same vein over there at LCCC on the men's basketball side with the Oliver brothers. Again, Elijah and Eric now being a part of that squad. But how much of an influence, or at least I'll say an influence, but also to a helping hand was your brother to get you over to LCCC, to also to get you adjusted to that kind of college life that you were about to step into with LCCC?
I knew expecting go to in. I play with my brother all the time whenever we have downtime, and we have nice weather, of course, in Wyoming. But he really didn't have a factor in it. We just talked about his season and how Coach Gibson and how the coaching staff was there. And then, I was looking at a few other schools. Just I have a good connection with Coach Gibson. I knew, when I first talked to him that, yes, this was a school I wanted to go to. And then checking out the school, it was just perfect for me.
Let's talk about your major at LCCC right now.
I'm a business finance major at LCCC and looking to go on. I'm getting my associates this next semester and going on to pass it.
And the question is where, and let's be honest, what are you looking at as the next level for soccer?
I have my eyes on a couple D2 schools. I got a call from West Texas A&M this last weekend, so I'm definitely have my eye on them. Keeping in contact with all the coaches. I just got to go check out the schools, see how the team is. I want to get a team with a good chemistry.
Is it something that, as we're talking about, again, it is academics first, then at least, again, you're a student athlete, but, again, as we're talking about that major, are you pretty much set in stone? Is that what you want to focus on? Or, again, do you plan on maybe switching that out or at least doing some other aspect once you get to at least that next level?
I'm going to stick with business finance for the next 2 years until I get my bachelor's. And then I think I'm actually going to go do 6 months of welding and then try to somehow in the future, some way, open up my own welding shop.
Perfect. Perfect opportunity out here in Cheyenne if you want to come back and at least show off your talents and showcase the skills. But, Chase, as we talk with, again, whether it's basketball, men's or women's soccer, volleyball as well, it's always interesting to talk with those student athletes of how you got into the sport, how you are, where you are this day right now. Give us your background. Again, we know that you played at Cheyenne East, but were you part of that Cheyenne Sting, at least, program out here? Again, were you in other sports growing up? But what kind of drew you to play soccer at the level that you're at right now?
My dad and my brother pretty much drew me to soccer. My dad put me in soccer when I was 4 years old, and I just fell in love with it right away. I played at CSC until I think 10 years old, and then I joined Sting, and then from there moved on to East, and now at LCCC.
Let's talk about your development, and again we always hear the words bigger, stronger, faster as you went from Cheyenne East obviously to LCCC. So now that you're in the off season and you're kind of you got an idea what you want to do, what do you do now with either the coaching staff here? Are they giving you programs to get you ready for that next level? Are you into weightlifting? What do you do to keep fresh?
Always stay busy. You can't let your skills just disintegrate out of there, because during the off season in Wyoming, you obviously can't go out and get on the soccer field. Awesomely, we have the rack at LCCC that we can use whenever we want, and a lot of us guys go in there during the off season and play. But during the spring season, K has conditioning and technical training, and then we also have our mandatory practices that we can do. So it's always staying busy, and then with the weight room we have Vito. He's always pushing us to get stronger and get better.
So good, at least even with the foot of snow or feet of snow out here in Cheyenne, again, still find a way to be active and still be in shape, so to speak, and get ready as you move on to that next level for your Chase. But, we look back, again, sophomore year, final year playing for head coach Vince Gibson with the LCCC program. Memories. What kind of sticks out for you, whether it was winning that district championship, going to at least the national tournament, going to that semifinal round, or winning a regional at least championship in your freshman year? Talk about memories. What are some of the memorable moments for your past 2 years here?
Oh, I have so many memories. I think most of the memories come on trips, getting to know these guys, and it's awesome. Everyone's different, and then you get to meet people from different parts. I never thought of even thinking about going to Utah to snowboard, but then I have some kids from Utah that want me to go down there and visit them. But I would have to say my favorite memory is going down to Texas, obviously, because it was a great experience for me and the team and the coaching staff to get down there. But we just spent so much time as a team, joking around, having fun, laughing. It was just an unforgettable time, and I'll never forget it.
You mentioned you're a defenseman, and I think of hockey and obviously with soccer. You're kind of like the last line of defense before the ball is kicked to the keeper. Tell us a little bit what you are expected to do when you're on the field.
Being a defender, we can't make many mistakes. We got to sit back there and do our job and do it almost perfectly. The more mistakes we make, the more opportunities they have to score. Just being a defender, you got to be physical, and then you got to have your eye on the ball and know what's going on, know the best situation and how to get out of it. I personally believe that defenders are one of the most important players on teams, including, I guess every position's important, but defenders, the last line of defense, and then if you mess up, then that could be the game, because one goal could decide a whole game.
Now, it's something, Chase, that we asked basketball players. We've asked a few volleyball players. Again, it's something kind of off the cuff, just a little tongue-in-cheek for you, Chase. But, again, as hearing the passion that you have for soccer, any players that you've kind of looked up to, at least on the national side, whether it is in the Premier League or down in the MLS, any players that you try to use some of their aspects of their game in your own game? And also, too, second part of that question as well, too, of, what teams do you follow, whether it is in the MLS, Premier, or, again, international throughout the world?
For the MLS, I follow the Rapids, of course. I get to go down there and watch them all the time whenever I'm able to. But my international team is Chelsea over in England, and actually a player that played for him is one of my biggest idols. It's David Luiz. He's a defender over there, and I just fell in love with him because of his hair. He kind of has the same hair as me, so... But his style is kind of like mine, be physical, and then he's always precise on what he does. It's pretty nice.
Well, we want to thank Chase Willett joining us here, former Cheyenne East product, and now a former product of LCCC. And again, wrapping up a great career with the Laramie County Community College Golden Eagles. Again, thank you to Coach Vince Gibson for joining us here on 1480 KRAE. We do need to take a timeout. We'll be right back. Eric Westling joining us from Cheyenne East after these words here at 1480 KRAE.
Season's greetings from La Osteria Mondello. First and most importantly, thank you for your past and present patronage. Your business is not forgotten and is truly appreciated. This is the season of peace on earth and goodwill to men. So from Joe Mondello and everyone at La Osteria Mondello, 1507 Stillwater Avenue in Cheyenne, they want to take this time to wish you a buon Natale, a buon anno. Thank you for dining local. La Osteria Mondello is truly blessed to have you as a friend and valued customer. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive.
Cheyenne, with a new Kia vehicle, you get one of the best warranties in America. The new 2019 Kia Sorento comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. 2019 Kia Sorento gives you up to 122 cubic feet of cargo space, 7-passenger seating, available all-wheel drive, and wireless charging for your devices. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See kia.com or a retailer for details.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny and windy. Expected daytime high near 40 degrees. Westerly winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear and windy for tonight with our low down to 32 degrees. Westerly winds at 30 to 35, decreasing to 25 to 30 after midnight, and wind gusts could get as high as 50 miles per hour. And for Tuesday, sunshine and breezy. Look for a daytime high near 41 degrees. Westerly winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Wyoming Sports Talk today as we now move along with more hoops. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti and head coach Eric Westling of the Cheyenne Lady Thunderbirds, who will begin his second season as the head coach. Of course, he's been with the East Type program for a few years now. Coach, good to have you back on the program. And, looking back on last season, your first year as head coach, and again, you've coached women's basketball at different levels, but looking back on last season, how'd you think things went for you?
I think only one thing could have gone better last year, and that was at the end of the year. But great year. Everything went just as well as it could, I think.
You always have that expectations, and as we were talking with Coach Lain earlier in our program, getting to the big dance is hard enough, but being on that center stage on the final day, that has to be a thrilling moment even for you as a head coach.
Yeah, it's special, and we talk to the kids about that a lot. And fortunately, in our program, whether I was an assistant or last year, it's a feeling our kids have got to have more often than not. But it was definitely special. It was fun to watch those seniors suit up on Saturday and watch them try and win a state championship.
Well, in talking about at least getting to the state championship or at least getting to the state tournament in general is something that was new here in Class 4A throughout the state of Wyoming was the regional, at least tournament, that double elimination format that, again, for your first year as a head coach, again, you got adjusted like everyone else across the state of Wyoming. But, now knowing that, again, where nothing is a guarantee, again, the regular season where you're not automatically going on to that state tournament, is that something that you now reflect on, something you use towards your at least returners there of the East High Lady Thunderbirds to say, hey, nothing's given, nothing's granted to us. We got to work hard, regular season and postseason as well.
I think so. I think it's, I don't even necessarily think it's really coach speak, but you got to play your best basketball in March. And for a lot of years, if you were the top two teams, I don't know if that was necessarily true in the regional tournament. You had a week to step back and think about maybe what didn't happen for you, but now it's the honest truth, and I think a year under our belt, our kids realize what this is now. Last year, it was kind of new to all of us and the kids as well. So I think it's definitely going to be a little different for us this year, but we preach the same thing. Just play your best basketball at the end of the year.
We're talking with Eric Westling, head coach of the Cheyenne Lady Thunderbirds, going into a second season. Coach, as you found out, like all other coaches, again, not your first rodeo as far as being a coach, but this is a year-round job. So tell us a little bit what you had going on in the off-season camps that you had a chance to take some of the kids to. And again, I know the young ladies are busy, whether it's summer activities or even volleyball going on as well. But tell us a little bit what the off-season was like for you and some of the young ladies.
We started with the open gym, and then we had a chance to get to Scotts Bluff, which is the first time we went there, and competed and did very well there. Got to play Douglas and a couple other pretty dang good schools, Scotts Bluff as well. We had a chance to go to Western again, did well there, and then we started our year with going down to Gold Crown in the elite division and humbled us a little bit. There's some really good 5A schools in Colorado right now, but it was definitely a good experience for us.
Let me finish that question, though, because you mentioned open gym. We hear that phrase so often, open gym. Is that just where the young ladies come in on their own and shoot around, or do you have the opportunity to work with them? Or is there a do not touch during that type of situation during open gym?
There definitely do not touch periods, and so what helps is when we've got the kids in a program that we have that have been in the system so long. It's one of those things. I walked in to open gym the other day before the season got started here, which wasn't too long ago, but I've got my seniors having our kids go through a conditioning thing. We didn't ask them, they just did it. And so I think we're just very fortunate here at East to have the kind of kids that we do, and they know their role and what they need to do. So even when we're not doing anything, our kids are definitely emulating what we're asking them to do as coaches.
As we look back the last season for your coach, again, in that state championship game where, unfortunately, again, came to an end where you finished runner-up, second place to Thunder Basin Lady Bolts, a team that kind of shocked the world, so to speak, in Class 4A, where your squad was kind of the team to beat, the team that everyone expected that would be at the top of the peak there in Class 4A. But, as we head into 2019-2020 this season for at least girls basketball in Class 4A, looking just also to at our southeast quadrant between East, Central, South, and Laramie, but throughout Class 4A, what teams are kind of on your radar to look out for upcoming this season?
Like you said, we've got two really good teams in town. They've been young for a long time. They're starting to get older, so I look for them to have some great battles with them. Those are always fun matchups. Thunder Basin isn't going away. Kelly gave us a heck of a scare last year, and they really didn't graduate very many people. Star Valley, I think, will be back for sure, and I'm never going to count out Campbell County for sure.
Coach, what are you looking for when you get things going with the preseason, which will kick off here in the middle part of December, and you'll get a couple of weeks with your young ladies, maybe 3 weeks or so. You get a chance to look at it. When you are playing in these tournaments, what do you look for? Do you look for the starting five that's going to be leading the way, or do you look for different combinations, rotations? What do you look for when you get into the preseason?
We look for all those things, really, but really what we kind of have taken a lot of stock in is preseason can be ugly. And so which kids are going to rise to the occasion, which kids are going to maybe not have a good night or maybe not know an offensive set the way they should and persevere, and that shows us a lot. Yes, we're looking for leaders. Like I said, we've been blessed with kids. When you grow up in this program, you basically want to take that role when you're a senior. But yeah, we're just looking for people that can deal with adversity, because at the end of the day, that's what this sport's all about.
And we'll talk about one of your leaders that is returning, again, a person who kind of made shockwaves across Class 4A, that being one Kai Buell. Coach, talk about at least having that option right now with her returning back and, again, leading this East High Lady Thunderbirds team here in 2019-2020.
The biggest thing about Kai, we're not going to sneak up with Kai or Maddie for that matter. But what I've been really pleased with her about it, and those two are working their tails off at this, so I guess it's kind of Maddie too, but they're filling the same role for us this year, being leaders. Kai's always been a stud, and she's had the ability to lead, but this year she's really taken it on and really been able to talk to kids and show them the way, and I've been really impressed with her and Maddie as well. But, yeah, I'm not going to feel too sorry for myself when I've got those two kids coming back.
Coach, you look out on the guys' side, some of the guys that played football are pretty good shape as they head into basketball camp. You may have some young ladies that went through the volleyball season or maybe even some cross country, but it's almost like the guys have a little more advantage coming in a little better shape than the ladies. So tell us a little bit how you get them into shape in a very short period of time.
Yeah, it's just grinding. I mean, we don't have minutes to waste in practice for sure, and it's a different set of training from volleyball and cross country. Even cross country kids you think would be able to obviously literally run miles, but it's not that stop and go of this sport. So we really try and simulate that in every drill, every rep we get, and it's pretty high intensity. We're always on the clock, making sure that we get as much as we can out of every minute.
Coach, as we look into this season again, kind of get out your crystal ball, or not so much, but, we look at this season where last year, again, making it to that state title game, again, you're returning some at least studs there for the Lady, at least Thunderbirds. Expectations for this team, for at least what you've kind of put on yourself for the team, is it pretty much state championship or bust this season for the East High Lady Thunderbirds?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we wouldn't be doing what why we do this for if it wasn't. Now, I say that we also, I've got to temper that a little bit. It's going to be a lot more growing this year, even though we have 7 seniors coming back, only 2 of which really had any major varsity time, but the kids have been in the program. So I think it's just that's our goal every year, and that's got to be your mentality. I think if you want to play in March, especially on Saturday, if you don't have that goal, you don't surprise yourself to get in there, so you got to have that as an expectation.
Well, Coach, we want to wish you all the best. Thank you for joining us here in Wyoming Sports Talk today. Looking forward to catching some East Side Lady Thunderbird basketball action throughout the season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Eric Westling joining us here on 1480 KRAE. We got to pay some bills. We will be right back with more after this on 1480 KRAE.
It's that time of year. The air turns colder, clothes get warmer, and generosity is contagious for all who are near. Hi, this is Rick Flood with Platte Valley Bank. During this holiday season, we reflect on what's important. The relationships we've built with our customers and community is the foundation of our success. With grateful hearts, Platte Valley Bank would like to wish you and your family a wonderful holiday season and a new year filled with peace and happiness.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys, heard only right here, feature Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, 750 milliliter bottle, $11.49. Jack Daniel's Black No. 7 Tennessee Whiskey, 750 milliliter bottle, $15.99. And Busch or Busch Light, 30-pack, 12-ounce cans, $19.59. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader. MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in both Cheyenne and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM, and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures, makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
Give your family and friends the gift of safety and security this holiday season with B&B Appliances' lineup of Ring doorbells and security cameras. Monitor your surroundings from the convenience of your phone or tablet. Any customer who purchases one of their connected home products will receive a free Google Mini while supplies last. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Ave. Best brands, hometown service.
The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny and windy. Expected daytime high near 40 degrees. Westerly winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear and windy for tonight with our low down to 32 degrees. Westerly winds at 30 to 35, decreasing to 25 to 30 after midnight, and wind gusts could get as high as 50 miles per hour. And for Tuesday, sunshine and breezy. Look for a daytime high near 41 degrees. Westerly winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We're going to round it back off to football real quick. Yes, the Niners and the Ravens delivered yesterday. That was one whale of a football game. Could those two teams possibly re-see each other? You might want to turn yours
I
off.
hope not. Either way.
The Ravens a good ball club.
Yeah, again, it was a sloppy game. Again, weather played a big factor out there. Again, it was at Baltimore, but again, 49ers were very competitive.
Defensively, very, very good. Jackson, you figured Jackson was going to do well.
He got slowed down, though, by the 49ers. But
no one else was a factor in there. And again, it wasn't turnovers that decided the game. It was, just a lucky break.
Yes and no. Again, there were a few turnovers. And again, there were some interesting fourth down plays called, again, albeit first touchdown for the 49ers on a 4th and 2. Again, going for it, at least for distance. I do believe that 49ers at least on the Baltimore 30, again, quite some distance, basically going all or nothing on that play.
Because Robbie Gould had missed a field goal.
Yeah, so
but, then you look at New England losing last night to the Houston Texans. Is it time to say?
Essentially, those 1 and 2 seeds are up for grabs.
Yeah, I was going to say, is the greatest of all time kind of slipping a little bit? I mean, Brady.
No.
Yeah, he just didn't look sharp last night against the Texans.
It's a regular season. Again, at this point for Patriots, for Tom Brady, the regular season does not matter. And again, yes, Buffalo's competitive right now in that
they're
AFC
on your
East.
heels.
They're on the heels, but they're not winning that division. Patriots are still going to find a way to get it done. Again, they still have 4 games remaining. So, and again, without seeing the Patriots at least 4 games up on their schedule, they're going to figure it out. they're going to be 1 or 2 seed going into the AFC playoffs without a doubt. We know that. But, again, during the regular season, a game like this, what happened Sunday night, people coming out and saying that, oh, Tom Brady's now done, it's the end of the era, or anything like that. Again, just going off the cuff or anything like this, you're ridiculous. Because, again, the regular season to the Patriots do not matter. Again, what are they focused on? It's kind of like what we just talked with Eric Westling. We talked with head coach Jason Ficca. It matters more, especially in football, what you're doing January, February.
Right. Moving on to the Broncos and the LA Chargers yesterday. Did we see the passing of the torch to one Drew Lock? And
it's not the greatest. The greatest litmus test against the Chargers.
But I was also going to say too, is it time for Phillip Rivers to step aside?
Yeah, I've been saying that since last year that he is pretty much past his prime. That he's not contributing.
He's a big whiner. He's even better at whining now than he did a couple seasons ago. But
again, this is a team that had high regard, that should have been in the Super Bowl, if not win the Super Bowl this year. Mightily fell below expectations, as they've been just pathetic this year, so up and down, peaks and valleys. Again, this is a team that, albeit though in their games, I do believe throughout the season have been very competitive. Lost by, I do believe, at least 5 or points less. So they've been within these contests, but they just can't find a way to solidify, get those wins.
Well, we said the same thing about the Cowboys last hour, though, too. Look at how many – their only blowout, so to speak, was Air Force this past Saturday.
It's just that simple change of, if they change the thing here or there, fortunes went this way, this team could be one of the elites in NFL, or at least in the AFC.
Well, I guess, and you just said he didn't really pass the litmus test, so I guess for Bronco fans, did you like what you saw with Drew Lock yesterday?
Seemed like everyone's on that bandwagon of saying, hey, the era is here, that he is a savior and something special now. And I believe it, though, even before he stepped out on that field, that this is a guy that can't get it done, needs a bit to mature, though, at least on the NFL, so to speak, again, get those skills refined. But, he came out, looked pretty good, got it done against the Chargers. Again,
he throws a good football, I will give him that.
Without a doubt, so you might, in this QB carousel that the Broncos have been going through, you might have found the one finally. Might have. We'll see. Again, with GM John Elway still at the helm, he's still got plenty of time to find a way to kind of mess it up or kind of play around with his toys, so to speak, out there on that football field with the Denver Broncos.
Well, the Broncos, with the win yesterday, they go to 4-8 this season. They're 3-3 at home.
Oh, boy.
So, and then you look at what happened yesterday around the NFL. Raiders, put a fork in them.
They pretty much collapsed.
They got punished by Kansas. After getting beat up by the Jets, you expected the Raiders.
And the Jets who got
beat by the Bungles.
They got embarrassed by Cincinnati, who finally picked up their first win of the season. Yeah.
So, if any of you were on that Raiders bandwagon for playoffs,
they were in it, though. They gave a run for the money for at least for Kansas City.
For a couple of weeks?
Yeah, for a couple of weeks. But, yeah, it's pretty much stick a fork in them that Kansas City has now won that AFC West, the AFC worst, where, again, Kansas City, yes, getting it done. Still, though, they're right now Kansas City is well below my expectations. Kansas City is right now showing that they're a team that could be an early exit out of the AFC playoffs. I think without a doubt. They've not shown anything to me this season that they could take down, they could compete with Baltimore, that they could take down a New England team either way. Sorry. You'll win the division, that's about it for the Chiefs.
Oh, I forgot to mention, too, going back to the Broncos game, and it happened right there towards the end of the game. This guy has had about every injury you could possibly have, and another one that's going to wrap up this season. Defensive end Derek Wolfe, I think he had a couple of sacks in the game against Rivers.
Yeah.
Is expected to miss the remainder of the season after he dislocated his left elbow yesterday.
And you wonder if that's something that, again, as oft injured as he has been, is it time for him to kind of say, hey, I got to step back. I'm tired of being injured. I got to think about my health and my longevity, at least here on Earth. Does he step away from the game?
Well, think about it. You lose Wolf on the interior side. You've lost Chubb, who's on injured reserve. Von Miller's dealing with a knee issue. He wasn't even suited up yesterday. They got the Houston Texans next week.
Good luck on that one.
Yeah, it just doesn't get any better. So a quick check on the standings real quick. That's what I was at next year for the National Football League. And again, you start looking at it now because we're 4 weeks removed from playoffs.
Yeah, you got 4 games remaining.
And you got the Patriots in the East, with the Bills only a game behind. They still got to play each other one more time at New England.
But again, Patriots still winning that division.
Oh, I'm not going to take anything away from the Patriots there. They still have a very solid defense. Ravens, no problems with the North.
Yeah. They right now, Ravens, their focus on is trying to get that number 1 seed.
The Steelers are making a very good case for postseason.
Yeah, go figure.
As are the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans, I think, will eventually fall off. I don't believe in the Titans. Pittsburgh, they've been interesting to watch, where, again, they've been so riddled with injuries.
And quarterback carousel there.
Yeah, so it's amazing what the Steelers have been able to do. But we'll see how long for both Tennessee and Pittsburgh, how long they last.
Well, but Indianapolis is kind of spiraling downward right now.
Yeah, but also, too, again, in that AFC South, you have Houston, though, to watch out for. Houston pretty much.
That's what I'm talking. Winning the division, I'm talking about in the wild card situation.
Wild card, again, Buffalo, I think, is that number 1. But, yes, it is a toss-up. You look.
Pittsburgh and Tennessee.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
Indy.
Could Indy do it? I still believe that the Colts will figure out things. Again,
Raiders won't. Raiders will not figure it out.
No,
they are.
The West is pretty much decided. It's Kansas City, and that's it. That's your only representation in the playoffs.
Matter of fact, if there are a few Raider fans, and just for argument's sake, to let you know that the Raiders have left on the schedule. They got the Titans. They've got the Jags. They got to go to the Chargers, and then they finish up the Broncos. And the Broncos at home are okay.
4 winnable games, though, for the Raiders, but how pathetic they've looked in the past couple contests, I have no faith. They should probably go 0-4 in those contests.
There's a very good possibility. We go over to the NFC. We talk about the AFC worst. How about the NFC least?
Yeah.
You got Dallas leading at 6-6. Philadelphia. Tell me how bad that franchise is, where you play Miami yesterday and basically said, we don't really want to win.
It was almost a guarantee for Philadelphia, where, again, Dallas loses on Thanksgiving to Buffalo. You had your shot to take over that division, again, taking on a Miami team that you should have boat raced, and yet you overlooked this team. You played down to them, and they took care of business against you. So now, yeah, again, the NFC least, one of the worst divisions, I think even worse than the AFC West. It's pretty pathetic when you have losses like that. And, again, do you want it? Again, teams are handing you an opportunity to take over that division and pretty much get that guarantee to go to the playoffs.
Think about this, Nick, before yesterday's game for Philadelphia. Look who they had left. Miami. They got the Giants in Philly.
Okay.
They go to Washington. They got the Cowboys at Philly. And they wrap up at the Meadowlands against the Giants. 5 teams that are
pretty pathetic outside of at least Cowboys. Again, Cowboys still doing their thing. They still are the division leader, but that's 4 winnable games, including that Miami game that you should have had at least yesterday. And does it really matter at this point between Philadelphia or Dallas of who wins that division? They're on the same vein of they're not going on.
They're early exits. Whoever the number 5 seed is, whether it's the 49ers or the Seahawks, whether it's one of those two,
that's gonna be ugly for either one.
Yeah, but they got to go to Dallas. You think they can't? Look what Buffalo did at Dallas.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the 49ers and the Seahawks could be in first place after tonight if they beat the Vikings.
Again, that's just due to the head-to-head, at least of the one
game thus far. The Saints pretty much in control in the NFC South. They're 10-2. The Vikings,
Saints have already wrapped up. I do believe they've clinched that division.
Yeah, they're 5 games ahead.
Yeah, they've clinched that division. They are your NFC South champs.
Packers right now a half game ahead of the Vikings, pending tonight's outcome with the Seahawks. Good news.
And again, don't write off the Minnesota Vikings. Again, this is an opportunity for them, albeit on the road out there in Seattle. Again, in front of that 12th fan base out there in Central League Field. I wouldn't write off, again, in my picks. I went with the Minnesota Vikings. I believe that this team, knowing what they have in front of them, have a shot right now to vault over and take over that NFC North title, or at least the division lead. This is a big game for them.
Right. The Rams.
It's a big game for both teams, without a doubt.
And the Rams still stay in contention with their win over the weekend. But
I think Arizona, or at least Arizona, is your first team eliminated, or one of the first teams eliminated out of playoff contention.
I think it was the Falcons. They're 3-9, and Arizona's 3-8-1.
I think it was the Lions, Giants, Arizona, I do believe we're like the teams that were mathematically eliminated.
And I do believe the Falcons, too, at 7-9. That's the best they can do this season.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap things up. Coming up, we will have Space